So here is my 1992 Honda ST1100. Recently I've had to do a red wire bypass because I was having electrical problems where you turn the key and nothing would happen. And I'll just go through and show you what I've done because I have to put in, I've got a new relay to put in there because my last one is a bit crispy. So I'll just go and show you everything I've done with that. I also have a SAE plug to install so I can charge it without having to take all of this off to get to the battery. So I'll just show you how that's done. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get your key and you have to take your side bags off. Which is a bit of a pain on this because I have a tow bar. It makes everything a little bit awkward to get off. Ah, got it. Once you get the side off, you want to take the seat off as well. And then what you want, I've got a Phillips head and I need 2 Phillips heads to get this side panel off. Then to take this side panel off, you want to kind of flex it as it goes. You have to pull out this lifting arm and it just kind of pops out here, and it's got another pop somewhere else. Where we are. Up here, there we are. So it's got 3 pins. Those 3, and then there's one up here. You got to pop them out and then the whole thing kind of slides out. You can do it with the bag still on, but it makes it a lot easier without. When doing anything to the bike or any vehicle at all, always remember to unhook the negative terminal, which is this one here on my bike. But this gives you a show of what actually has happened. So what we have here is my main relay, which is down here. This is my starter relay down there, and that goes, there's a live wire which runs straight from the battery, which goes straight down to this relay, and from that relay goes to the starter motor, and it also provides the power to the rest of the bike through this relay. What has a tendency to happen is it has the plug looks a bit like this. This is just another replacement of the cover down there. What we've got in here is 4 little spay connectors, and being as there's 30 amps travelling down these 2 lines, or 28 amps, because that's what the alternator runs off, and then the rest of the bike runs off that amperage as well. So you've got 28 amps running through these pins, and the spay connectors tend to burn out, and what happens is they tend to melt your plug down here. So what is very common for people to do is what's called a red wire bypass. And I've got this red wire that comes down here, which connects up to the red wire here. So basically this one here, the first one that comes off on this side, is power to the bike. So that power to the bike is what tends to burn out. This other one is power from the alternator, so that's where your charge comes in. So you'd want to cut this one to the power to the bike. You cut that and run it straight to the battery. Of course you put a fuse in there. I've got a 30 amp fuse in a waterproof housing here, so that's my 30 amp fuse. And you want to keep the fuse on the main relay as well as 30 amps, because that's what the charge comes in at. So you've got here the wires coming down. This one here comes down, and then I've cut it in there, and I've soldered those 2 connections together, so that's been soldered, and then I've gone over it with shrink wrap to stop it from earthing and keep it protected. So this is my live wire to the bike, which goes through this 30 amp waterproof housing, and then that runs back out and goes straight up into my battery, which is behind this cover. There you are, and that's my battery behind that cover. Lift this up and I'll show you. What happens with these is they get hot, and as you can see, this one here started to melt, which is what has happened. And if I flip this over, you can see it's melted a hole straight through there. So that is the problem. That's where the live wire comes in. I've pulled it out and I've cut it and I've gotten rid of it. That's the issue that happens, is they get hot and it starts to melt, which is pretty bad. Even this one here has started to melt. There's a brand new fuse in there and that has already started to melt coming off the power. So I think it's time to replace this relay. That fuse at the back there has started to melt, which is my fuse from the alternator, which is not good. That 30 amp fuse looks fine. So this one is good. It's just there's a lot of power coming from the alternator.